The Disease Preparedness DVD contains 2 videos. The first video, Respiratory Defender, teaches your employees how to stay healthy in the face of colds, flu, and other illnesses. The second video, the Swine Flu Primer, will fill you and your staff in on the swine flu, what it is, where it came from, and how to avoid catching it. We invite you to sample the second video, the Swine Flu Primer, right now. This video is a tool to give you more information about the recent outbreak of swine flu. In the next 12 minutes, you'll get answers to questions like, what is swine flu? Where does it come from? Should you be concerned? How does it spread? Why is this outbreak potentially different than others? What can you do to keep yourself and others healthy? What's the risk to you and the world? The more information you have, the easier it is to stay safe. So keep watching. First off, what is swine flu? The swine flu is a respiratory disease that originally came from pigs, caused by the type A influenza virus. Outbreaks of influenza happen each year in wild birds, chickens, and pigs. Most times, a flu virus from these animals won't spread to humans. Sometimes, though, it'll spread from pigs to people, but even when this happens, the virus stops there. It doesn't spread from one person to another. But this outbreak is different. We're not really sure where it came from, since we haven't found it in pigs yet. But somehow, it's developed the ability to spread from person to person. That's rare and potentially dangerous because it's brand new. Nobody's ever had it before now, so nobody's immune, which means we really don't know yet just what it's going to do, how it might change, or how serious it might get. So far, not many people in the U.S. have come down with swine flu. You can find the current number of cases on the web at this address. By contrast, about 36,000 people each year die from the regular flu right here in the United States. And that's been going on since the year you were born. So, it's not worth panicking, but it is worth learning. So, let's learn. First, what is a virus? It's a very tiny infectious agent that can make you sick. It's not like a bacteria. A bacteria is a live organism that reproduces inside your body on its own and attacks your cells. But a virus can't reproduce on its own.
Hey, what do you want for nothing?
So it does something pretty sneaky. It tricks your cells into turning out copies of the virus.
Here, hold this DNA for me, will ya?
In other words, a virus latches on to one of your cells and then injects the cell with its own DNA, turning the cell into a little factory that produces many copies of the virus. And then, those copies go out and infect other cells, and so on. It's like a microscopic vampire, attacking your cells and converting them one at a time. Nasty. So how does a flu virus spread? The swine flu is a strain of the influenza virus, a respiratory disease. That means it affects your lungs and nose and throat. When it does, you cough and sneeze. And the virus escapes your body, riding on microscopic and sometimes not so microscopic water droplets. These droplets need to get inside another person in order for the virus to spread. Your skin makes a pretty good barrier against a respiratory virus.
At last, I have met my arch nemesis.
So, the water droplets need to get in through your nose or mouth or eyes, the wet parts of you, where mucous membranes make a permeable barrier between your tissue and the outside world. If the virus can get in through any of those places, it can infect you. So, to stay healthy, it's important that you do whatever you can to keep those infected water droplets out, especially since there's no flu shot or vaccine just yet for this new outbreak of swine flu. That's why the first best way to keep yourself safe is to avoid close contact with sick people. The trouble is, you don't know who's sick, and you don't know if someone who is sick recently coughed or sneezed on a surface that you might touch. So just know that in crowded places like cafeterias, restaurants, schools, movie theaters, airplanes, and so on, you're at increased risk of getting sick. You can let the swine flu into your body by touching the infected water droplets and then touching your nose, eyes, or mouth. This can happen after you shake someone's hand, touch a doorknob or a handrail, a desk, tabletop, or countertop, or any other surface or object that other people touch. The influenza virus can live for 2 hours or more on a surface outside the human body. So just because you didn't see somebody cough on that table, or sneeze into their hands and then touch that handrail, that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Now, if you're in a public place, you probably have to touch things other people touch. So rule number 2 is, don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. If you do, you could be giving the swine flu virus a free ride in past your body's first line of defense. Because we sometimes touch our face without realizing it, if you're in a place where sick people are, or where they might have been, it's a good idea to wash your hands as much as possible. Washing with soap and water for 15 seconds can take the influenza virus off your hands. Alcohol gel works great too, or you can use disposable hand wipes. Remember, if you can keep from letting the flu virus in through your eyes, nose, or mouth, you can stay healthy. It really works. You can also pay close attention to your general health. Get plenty of sleep, be physically active, manage your stress, drink plenty of fluids, and eat right. All those things will give your body what it needs to fight off disease in any form. But there's a flip side to this. What if you're the one who's sick? In that case, you've got an obligation to the rest of us. First off, you can have the influenza virus and not even know it. It takes 48 hours to show up, but you can start spreading it after only 1 day, before you even have symptoms. So, if you cough or sneeze, do it into a tissue, and then throw it away, and then wash your hands. Remember, you're trying to keep those water droplets from getting into another person, or onto a surface that somebody else might touch. If you don't have a tissue, don't sneeze into your hands. The flu often spreads because somebody sneezed into their hands, then shook somebody else's hand, or touched a surface that somebody else then touched. So, if you don't have a tissue, sneeze into the crook of your elbow. That'll catch the droplets and prevent you from smearing them anywhere else. That's the end of the free online sample. Remember, you also get the Respiratory Defender video when you order the Disease Preparedness DVD. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy.